2019 Kia Sportage may come up short on a portion of the spunky visual intrigue of the related Kia Soul hatchback, yet it's similarly too. It sells and performs very much dependent on its hybrid SUV qualifications, not on an on-point shape. The Sportage accomplishes more than the Soul with its accessible turbo 4 drivetrain, as well, and it offers all-wheel drive to boot. Kia sells the Sportage in LX, X, and SX Turbo trim dimensions. All accompany front-wheel drive, and offer all-wheel drive as an alternative. The Sportage is unaltered this year, which implies purchasers must pick between a 181 strength inline-4 or a 240 horsepower turbo 4, both coupled to a 6-speed programmed. In the last case, the normally suctioned Sportage puts its best foot forward as a peaceful, mid-AWD hatchback. In Sportage SX Turbo trim it livens up impressively with exact dealing with, for a hybrid SUV, and benevolent, beyond any doubt-footed cornering moves. The Sportage emerges for its swoopy yet curved look. It's striking without being excessively definite or jumbled. Its articulated grille and kicked-back rooftop columns aren't so capturing as the Soul hatchback, however the quiet and clean body without a doubt has claim to more drivers. The lodge resembles the Soul, with an uncluttered design commanded, on most models, by a major, splendid touchscreen and swaths of lustrous dark plastic. The Sportage doles out fine space to 4 grown-up travelers. In front its seats have quite recently enough chiseling, while the rearward sitting arrangement's even more an essential seat. The payload space inflatables to in excess of 63 cubic feet, in 2 traveler mode. Security scores have been solid, and all Sportages can be fitted with the most recent innovation, including programmed crisis braking. All models offer all-wheel drive, and most get Kia's helpful Uvo infotainment framework, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a major, high-goals touchscreen. Cowhide, a sunroof, and top-of-the-line sound are accessible. In spite of those benefits, Sportage efficiency cuts the intrigue. It's lower than adversaries, especially when furnished with all-wheel drive. The 2019 Kia Sportage has styling ethics that could not hope to compare to the kicky Soul hatchback that sits right over the business floor. The Sportage works, essentially, and doubtlessly, all around, in a class of vehicles that endeavors to draw eyeballs with gimmicky styling traps. Its lucidity is reviving. We believe it merits a 7 out of 10 here. The spunky, planted look of the 2019 Sportage originates from great structure senses. The wheelbase might be short, yet so are the shades, and both work well on a wheelbase that is somewhat longer than certain vehicles in its aggressive set. An unmistakable absence of abundance denotes the body. On the off chance that there's an overcompensated line or an overdrawn detail, we can't discover it in the Sportage's smooth, sport shoe body. SX Turbos are the dressiest of THE gathering with their standard 19-inch compound wheels, however the 18s on X's aren't so decrepit. The Sportage's lodge draws considerably increasingly great impressions. It's inclined toward the driver, clean in its execution, spread out well, without the packed-in sets of controls basic in little vehicles. Kia parts the Sportage's dash into an upper half to keep the driver concentrated on the checks and one of 3 accessible infotainment screens while gathering auxiliary controls lower yet at the same time and side handle. The Sportage has a normally suctioned 4-chamber in its LX and X versions. The 2.4-liter inline-4 produces 181 pull and 175 pound-feet of torque. It's coupled to a 6-speed programmed, and comes in front or all-wheel drive structure. Our involvement in the space powertrain is restricted. After a concise drive, the 181 horsepower Sportage appeared a satisfactory, if not moving, entertainer. The motor is tranquil and just a removed snarl advances into the lodge. The vast majority of our audit miles collected in the driver's seat of a Sportage SX Turbo. It ports in a 2.0-liter turbo 4 that belts out 240 horsepower, or 237 horsepower with all-wheel drive, and 260 pounds-to-foot of torque. This Sportage admissions better when contrasted and the scooty releases of the Ford Escape and Subaru Forester. It's a little level of Sportage steals, yet speeding up is more than abundant. It's certainly justified regardless of the test drive, however the cost of more than $33,000 fits hard investigate Ion. By hybrid SUV norms, the Sportage likes an awe-inspiring street. It rides well, absent much cruelty, particularly in LX trim with its delicate